I think what I'll miss most about Code Blue is the fact that in every day I got to go to school knowing I was going to get to create something exciting and be with people who wanted to create different news and different stories. It was fun because you just got to sit down and you were like, okay, I'm creating this and I'm doing this, and then it came together at the end of the week and it 9 out of 10 times worked.
Well, what I'll miss most about Code Blue is obviously anchoring. Most Friday mornings, I'll miss the people and feeling like I was part of a team because, I don't like sports. I'm not good at sports, and yeah, Code Blue was the first time I felt like I was part of a team.
The thing I'll miss most is definitely all of my classmates in the class, everyone in Code Blue. Everyone there is a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to work with. They're very creative people. They work hard, and it was a great time working with them.
The thing I'm gonna miss most about Code Blue is gonna be a lot of talking to people, getting to hear how they think on school issues and getting to cover all these amazing events that the school does. It's just really great getting to talk to all these people, getting their perspective and being able to share with the rest of the school and being a part of this great school community.
My favorite memory from Code Blue is probably either Code Blue Feud, because it was 40 minutes where 90% of the class was just sitting in the studio while we were filming, just goofing off and joking around, and people only saw 12 minutes of it, but the whole 40 minutes just had everyone laughing because the 14 of us are just dumb. My second favorite memory is probably the time me and Andrew were walking around school going to get an interview from Peps, and there was a cheese stick just gross on the stairs, and that's the story of how Andrew LaRossi became a cheese stick in my eyes.
My favorite memory has to be the time when Nick was anchoring and then he was holding up Miss A's GSA t-shirt and he went through the green screen.
My favorite memory was Niles saying, "You ready, Dom?" every single time I was operating in a camera and he was on camera. Every single time. And I was always ready.
Technically not a Code Blue, but I remember one time, me and Chuck, we talked about this. We're like, I wonder if I could drop an Altoid off the top banister of the cafeteria into his mouth. I think it must have took us 50 or something tries, probably way more than that, but just drop him in. Eventually we got lucky and just nailed it. And then we told Gorman we did it on one take.
My hardest challenge with Code Blue was going into the year. I didn't really know anyone in the class except for Dominic and Niall and Katori. Okay, I knew only the seniors. I didn't really know anyone else. So I felt going into the class that I had to prove to everyone else that I was in that class for a reason and that I belonged there, because I hadn't taken video production for 2 years. So I felt like I had something to prove, and even being an exec, I was felt every day that I had to prove to them. So that was hard, but eventually we all became friends, and yeah.
Time and editing, because I wasn't really experienced with editing, so yeah.
Probably the biggest thing to overcome was the deadlines. A segment had to be done by Thursday afternoon. I couldn't leave school until it was done. I had to work it in with my schedule playing sports. I would have to be late to practice, or if I knew I had a game, I would have to make sure the segment was done in advance, so I would have to stay after school earlier in the week. It was difficult to balance, but I always ended up making it work, and I think it was a great learning experience.
Hardest challenge, I don't know if there's ever been something that's been too great of a deal to overcome. I've definitely had those segments where working on them is just a pain, or it's just so frustrating to do. But, if I can't do it, maybe I can turn to, say, Dominic or anyone else who's working at Code Blue. I can ask them for help, and, at the end of the day, we'll overcome whatever challenge we have to deal with.
My favorite part about working at Code Blue was the fact that I was with people, like I said, who got to create different things, and we all worked together. We're all so different, but as you could see in Code Blue shows, that everything was just it looked cohesive from all our different personalities. It put on a good show, I guess.
Well, what I liked most was obviously everyone and their different personalities. Matt, he always made me laugh, and he always would encourage me. Mr. Gorman would also push me to and say I can make a better segment than what I had produced. And when I would stay after school, Caleb will also encourage me and support me and say thank you for staying after.
I liked the dynamic of everyone there. I liked the way everyone challenged each other, and the way when someone came up with an idea, there would always be someone else there to add on to it. I liked how there was never someone who didn't have an idea, and I like everyone's personality in the group, and I think it was great working with everyone.
You know, there's a lot of things I love working at Code Blue. You know, just covering all the various events, getting to talk to so many students. It's just such a different class. You can't get that same experience in any other class. You know, I love all the people there, I love all the work we've done, and I'm proud of everything we've done at the end of the day.
It'll be hard saying goodbye to everyone in the show because I think, honestly, we all have just worked together so much that I felt like I was with these people more than just one period a day. I was with them after school, before school, during school, even if it wasn't for just Code Blue. And the show meant a lot to me. I feel like I put so much into the show that not having the show anymore just feels weird.
It also, well, Code Blue, it also made me find like how much I love film, and it also led me to changing my major to like film, just so I could probably get into like screenwriting instead of like having a biology major, because when I first chose that, it was obviously about the money, but Code Blue led me to finding my talents, so yeah.
It's going to be hard to say goodbye to everyone in the show because I've spent the entirety of my senior year with them, and every time, you know, those sessions where we would spend planning the show every Monday were always a lot of fun. It was a great time being around them, and it's going to suck to not be able to go to that class every day.
It's going to be tough, you know. I started this whole journey, I don't know what now, 7th grade started, so it's been wild at the end of the day, you know. We started off in this small little closet, you know, just trying to make some good stuff for the community, and now looking at what we've become, you know. All those years ago, I just joined because I wanted to hang out with one of my friends who was in the club. I wasn't even interested in what I was doing at the time, and you know, it's just become such a wild experience, all the great times I've had. You know, it's one of those things where, you know, I've got to move on at the end of the day, you know. As much as I've loved my time here, I gotta move on to new things now. Just kind of a wild experience knowing how long I've been here.
Is there anything I'd like to add? Just that the barbecue segment's probably the best segment anyone has ever created. And I don't care how bad it truly was, it is a masterpiece. And that I'm still the best person to do Renegade ever. Okay, yeah, that was it. Could you see me reading my phone?